Texas A&M was off to a hot start. What were they, 7-1 heading into the month of November? Sitting pretty, and did not defeat another power conference opponent the rest of the year. New Mexico State, the only other game they won, dropped a couple conference games coming down the stretch, a bad one to Auburn and a shootout loss. Of course, the rivalry game against Texas. Then they go and they lose in the bowl as well. Over under win total of 8.5 at FanDuel Sportsbook, heavily juiced to the over, minus 170, under plus 138. Tom, what are you doing with the Aggies?
I feel like there's a ceiling for this team, especially, getting Notre Dame on the road in non-con. You get into conference play, you're going to have to play LSU on the road and all that kind of stuff. Texas is on the road to finish the year. But just the components of this team, it's a Mike Elko defense, so I have faith in that it's going to be good. Offensively, you've got Marcel Reed and what I think is one of the best group of running backs in the country in Le'Veon Moss, Reuben Owens, Amari Daniels, all those, E.J. Smith. And you've got Colin Klein coordinating the offense. Give me Colin Klein putting together an offense with a running quarterback and a stable of good running backs, and I think your floor is pretty high too. So while I don't think that they will be able to win the SEC or really compete at that elite level because of the lack of what I expect to be a passing game because of the limitations of their quarterback, unless he takes a tremendous step forward, I think we're looking at a spot between 8 and 10 wins, depending on how a couple of those games go. I have them very, very slightly over here. I've got them at 8.7. I'm not betting it, but I like the over for the Aggies just based on faith in what they're going to be able to do. Like, if they stick to what they're good at, I think this team can be successful.
To continue Tom's point, how many games does A&M play where it has a distinct quarterback advantage?
UTSA, Utah State, Mississippi State, maybe.
Probably.
Boy, we're not hearing great things about Jackson Arnold, though. Hold on.
Shapen's as good as Reed?
Well,
we've seen Shapen at Baylor was okay.
Yeah, but give me Texas.
He got run out by Sawyer.
Yeah. Give me Texas A&M's offensive line, Texas A&M's running backs. Give me Texas A&M. Like, I know the wide receivers didn't have a lot to offer. They did go get Casey Concepcion from NC State. Like, I think
yes.
Give me all of the supporting parts. I'll take Marcel Reed being better set up for success than Blake Shapen.
Yeah, I totally agree. The offense is better at every spot than it was last year. Except they didn't upgrade quarterback to me. And I think that Florida game is carrying a lot of water for Marcel Reed. But if you look at that was when you were getting the Florida defense, when they were still having Austin Armstrong call it. And I hate to break it to Aggies fans because I'd actually like this team quite a bit. But like everybody went nuts on the Austin Armstrong coordinated Florida defense. And then when they changed it, Florida got a whole lot better. But like Cam Ward killed him. Mississippi State was actually respectable. Like the one game that year that Mississippi State, played pretty well. KJ Jefferson, okay, not great actually. But I'm not sure I trust the quarterback here. I don't think he's terrible. I just don't think he's like top 2/3 in the SEC. He's probably a little bit better than what Kentucky has. You guys seem to like him a lot better than Shapen. Maybe. I can't say that he's not. I just don't know that he definitively is. I think their defense takes a step back because of what they lost on the defensive line. But, man, I like the O-line a lot. I think receivers pretty nice. I think the backs are probably pretty damn good. And maybe I'm wrong on this, and maybe Texas A&M can find a way to utilize Reed's legs a lot more. Because Colin Klein, that's what he did in college, and obviously it's what he did at K-State. So maybe that's what they're thinking. If so, I think that would work great. And I think I would love to bet on Texas A&M quite a few times as a spoiler. But I am very slightly under here.
Do you want an extremely bold prediction?
Yeah.
We look at the wide receivers. I think Amari Nyblack, the transfer at tight end, could have a huge season in this offense, just based on what Colin Klein likes to do and what I think Marcel Reed's strengths are as a passer. I think Nyblack is somebody who could have a huge year. Tyler Warren-ish.
I like that. Hey, quick
I think it's in there. I'm worried that like Bama and Texas couldn't get a damn thing out of this kid, for relative to the talent.
He had a good season a couple of years ago in 2023. Not huge, but he caught 327 yards, 4 touchdowns, and that was in an offense with a lot of talent around him. So, and he also had Jalen Milroe as his quarterback.
So, is this at 8.5 somewhere? This one might be a user error. Because I just pulled it up at FanDuel Sportsbook. I introduced it with the juice. I'm seeing a 7.5 at FanDuel Sportsbook with over -172. So there might be some 8.5s out there as well. So does that change the over under?
Mute me so I can type. I have a thing that shows across all books.
Okay.
I do too. There's another one that there's over 7.5 is heavily juiced to the over. You can get +125, +120 if you go under 8.5.
Got it. So would you be? I think I'm over 7.5. I think that if it was 8.5, it'd be a no play for me. I see 8-4. I know that's a shocker for Texas A&M that they'd be Texas 8-4. But
the one I'm not pulling is the dictator one, or the emperor. Sorry. See, we got that one there.
I'm on the over. I thought because I wanted to have one kind of team that nobody's has in the playoffs, and I went with Ole Miss. I was considering Texas A&M. Marcel Reed must have been listening to Bud. I don't know if you guys saw a quote that came out, and he was addressing the media. He goes, "Oh, you guys say I can't pass. I've been working on it. I can throw the ball just fine. I'm more than just a runner." I think Casey Concepcion is a player. Like his stats weren't as good last year, but he had really poor quarterback play. There was inconsistency there. I think he could make a big difference. Le'Veon Moss, I'm with Tom. I think he's a stud. I think the running back room is really good. Elko taking over the defense is a good thing. And most importantly, Bud's blue chip ratio.
Ooh.
Third best roster, 4- and 5-star blue chips in the SEC. I think it can come together. I didn't go with them to go to the playoffs, but I do think they go over the total. And I would say 9-3 is in play. That's why if it's 8.5, I love the plus money on that one.
I could see that.
Yeah, 8.5 is where I'm spot on. I'm going to say over here for the official declaration and the social graphic. I've got this as 6 wins, 1 certified loss, but then a lot of toss-ups to fill it out. And I like the fact that you do get a couple of those toss-ups, Florida and South Carolina in particular, in front of the 12th man. So give me the over on this one. I'm excited about Texas A&M. Again, the schedule is the same schedule that set them up to be in the position to maybe get to the SEC championship game. But of course, they did fall short. Got to finish here.